Hi everyone, I'm Scott Noonan, CEO of Audio Advice. This video is part of our home theater design series that covers virtually everything about designing a home theater. Today we're going to be talking about speaker layout options for your theater. When it comes to speaker layouts, there are dozens of options available to you. In this video, we will go over some of the most popular options so you can decide what will work best for you and your room. If you want more information on anything covered in this video, be sure to click the link in the description that will take you to our full article on home theater speaker layouts on our site with lots of detail on each layout. You can also explore all of our articles and videos on virtually everything home theater related on our website at audioadvice.com. If you're considering installing a home theater, then you definitely want to try out our home theater design tool on our website. It will help you design all of the elements we describe in this video, enable you to interactively build your own theater and see ideal speaker placement, etc. Now let's get started. In today's world of immersive home theater, you may have seen number sequences like 7.1.4, 5.2, or 3.0. It helps to understand these abbreviations as you're going to see them pop up when you start researching home theater receivers. Decoding the sequence is very easy once you know the key. The first digit is the number of speakers in the room that are not Dolby Atmos speakers. Dolby Atmos speakers either go in the ceiling or on top of your main speakers to fire up and bounce off of the ceiling. So for this example, if the first digit is a 5, this means there is a left, center, right, and a pair of surround speakers. The next digit is the number of subwoofers. You will normally see most configurations call for 1 subwoofer, but we highly recommend at least 2 for a serious home theater room. The third digit is the number of Dolby Atmos speakers. So for example, if you have a home theater set up that is 5.2.4, this means you have 5 main speakers, 2 subwoofers, and 4 Dolby Atmos speakers. Most home theater receivers max out at 11 channels, which enables a 7.1.4 setup with 11 powered and a non-powered sub-channel. There are a few on the very top end of the price scale that allow you to do 9.1.4 and even 11.1.6. For the purposes of this help guide, we will stop at 7.1.4, as for most rooms that is more than enough for an amazing experience. As you go through these different configurations, bear in mind you'll have choices on what type of speaker to use. For the main speakers, surround speakers, and rear speakers, you can use an in-room tower or bookshelf speaker, an on-wall speaker, or an in-wall speaker. The Dolby Atmos speakers can either be in-ceiling speaker or an elevation speaker that would sit on top of your tower or bookshelf speaker. We are even starting to see some tower speakers with the elevation speaker built into the top, which is pretty cool. You may wind up laying out the perfect room only to find out that the only way your room is constructed doesn't allow you to put your speakers exactly where they should go. This is especially true for in-ceiling and in-wall speakers. A common problem with placing these speakers is the placement of the studs. If there's a stud in the way of where you need to put an in-ceiling Atmos speaker, we find it better to move them to the left or right rather than front to back to find the spot where they can fit in the ceiling between the studs. For side speakers, we usually suggest you move them slightly backwards, and for rears, move them further apart rather than closer together. If you have more detailed questions, jump over to audioadvice.com and chat or give us a call. We'll start with the layout we consider the best choice and work down from there. Again, keep in mind that these will all show just 1 subwoofer, but if you have the space, we highly recommend a second sub for more even bass distribution. Our home theater design tool also allows you to view all of the different speaker layout options in your specific room, and it will show you what they look like in the room along with the ideal speaker placement for each speaker. Our first layout option is a 7.1.4 layout. Remembering from earlier, this means there are 7 main speakers, 1 subwoofer, and 4 Atmos speakers. With this great setup, we have a front left and right, a center channel, a pair of side surrounds, and a pair of rear surrounds, and 4 Dolby Atmos speakers. For this configuration, you'll need a home theater receiver that supports Dolby Atmos with 11 powered channels or a separate surround sound processor and 11 channels of amps. You'll find a variety of these on the site, and our support team at audioadvice.com or in our stores will be more than happy to help you select the best one for your budget. Up next is a 5.1.4 setup. This setup is the same as 7.1.4 minus one of the pairs of surround speakers. If given the choice, we would choose a 5.1.4 setup over 7.1.2 setup. Having immersive Atmos effects adds a whole new dimension to movies, so we generally recommend 4 Atmos speakers and 2 surrounds rather than 2 Atmos and 4 surrounds. This type of system will need a home theater receiver with 9 powered channels on board. We also see a lot of rooms where getting a pair of rear speakers is not possible, so using sides in 4 Atmos where 2 are in the front and 2 are behind the main viewing position is a great solution in this situation. Although we do recommend 5.1.4 over 7.1.2, we see many existing home theater systems where there are already 7 speakers in the room. If you have this type of layout and want to add Atmos but only do one pair, 7.1.2 is a great option that would not require a lot of additional installation. Next up is 5.1.2, which is by far the most popular layout we see at Audio Advice. There are a ton of reasonably priced 7-channel Dolby Atmos home theater receivers on the market to choose from, which makes getting into the Atmos world pretty reasonable. It also uses the same number of speakers we used to see in home theaters for years, but set up in a new way for much more immersive sound. If you have a small to medium-sized room and are looking to get the most bang for your buck, the 5.1.2 layout is the best way to go. A 7.1 system will have no Dolby Atmos effect speakers, so this is not something we currently recommend unless you have an old home theater receiver not capable of Dolby Atmos and you're trying to put together a home theater system using that old receiver. Or you may be in a situation where it's impossible to get wiring to the ceiling and have in-wall or on-wall speakers for your fronts and rears, making it almost impossible to place Atmos elevation speakers on top of them. If this applies to you, a 7.1 channel layout will get you the most immersive sound. Some of you may have this exact layout with in-ceiling surround speakers already. If this is the case, we would highly recommend you upgrade to a new Dolby Atmos receiver and configure the receiver for 5.1.2, where 2 of your in-ceilings will serve as Atmos speakers. You'll get a big improvement in effects over what you've previously experienced. Finally, we have a 5.1 setup. Even though 5.1 is the simplest of surround sound systems, make no mistake, a good 5.1 system using separate speakers will outperform any soundbar-based system by miles. You can find plenty of entry-level home theater receivers that support 5.1 and some great speaker packages that allow you to do a 5.1 system and not break the bank while still getting great sound. Plus, if you have a fairly small room, this system can be more than enough to give you goosebumps if you set it up properly. Once you've decided what setup is best for you, you've picked out your gear and you've wired everything up. Now it's time for arguably the most important step in the process, calibration. Home theater calibration is a huge topic, but don't be intimidated. With a little reading, you'll be getting out the tape measure and setting levels like a pro. We have multiple articles at audioadvice.com on home theater calibration that will go through some of the different software options as well as how to properly run them. We can't stress enough how much of a difference this will make to the sound in your theater. This video is part of the Audio Advice Home Theater Design series of videos that cover all aspects of designing a home theater. In the description, you'll find links to all of the articles and videos, as well as our really cool interactive home theater design tool that we've mentioned throughout this video. If you have any questions on any of the speaker layout options we've talked about, or maybe you'd like some help deciding what would work best for your room, give us a call or chat with our team at audioadvice.com, or if you're near our Raleigh or Charlotte, North Carolina showrooms, stop in and we'd love to help you out. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and be sure to subscribe to our channel so you never miss the latest in audio and home theater content. We'll see you next time.